All right, welcome everybody. We are going to do a bit of grounding, a bit of movement, a bit of mantra, and some meditation today. So find yourself a really comfortable seat, and you might want to move to get into that seat. So you might want to wiggle or adjust or see, where is my body today? Maybe you do some circles in one direction and the other direction to just see, okay, where is my center of gravity? Where is my balance today? How is my balance today? Because that, changes day to day depending on how you're feeling, what's going on, how much sleep you've had, and just arriving on your sits bones, thinking about a comfortable, tall spine. I think sometimes we emphasize this like rigid soldier spine, and that's not really what we're looking for. We're just looking for something that is comfortable, that is embracing the natural curvature of your spine, that tucks the chin a little bit so that the head is over the neck, is over the spinal column, so that your bones can do the work. A lot of times we make our neck muscles do a lot of extra work because we hold our neck in an unnatural way, but when the bones are lined up, the bones can do the work and the muscles can relax. So we might want to do some shoulder circles if you haven't already today, or you might want to get really big and do some arm circles if that feels good to you. If you want to do something a little more active, that's great. It's whatever feels good in your body. Don't forget to go both directions, and if you feel some pops and clicks, that's fine, as long as there's no pain, because when we feel pain, that's our body's way of telling us something is not right. Stretching is fine, right? Sometimes stretching feels a bit uncomfortable, but it should never be painful. And if you experience pain, take a step back, reassess, adjust. And then we might want to do some side bending, because that's a movement that's great for our spine that we don't do often in our daily life. So I'll invite you to do a breath with a movement, reaching over to one side and exhaling back to center, and inhaling over to the other side and exhaling back to center. And if this doesn't work, then extend the breath. Do a full inhale and exhale over on one side, and slow it down, and then do a full inhale and exhale back to center. Or you speed it up because that was what feels good in your body. So it doesn't have to match exactly what I'm doing. You can do whatever feels good to you. Some people like longer holds, and some people like more dynamic movements. So you decide what feels good in your shoulder girdle, what feels good along your side body. We're looking for a stretch from the armpit down to the hips. I'm going to do a couple more of these so that you feel pretty balanced on both sides. Maybe if you have been doing something dynamic, you do something a little more static. Or if you have been doing something pretty static, maybe you put a little bit of movement in just to spice it up a little bit. And then we'll come back to our nice tall seat, and we'll spend a little bit of time with our hands and our wrists. So I'll invite you to just see how your hands are feeling today first, just putting some movement into the fingers. Maybe you touch the thumbs to each finger pad and see how that feels. And if that feels pretty good, you can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it faster or slower. Maybe you interlock the fingers together if that feels good, and put a little bit of movement into your wrists. Or you can turn the wrists out and press away from you. Coming up and letting the hands fall down by your sides. We do circles with a fist. That changes the stretch in the wrist, so that might feel good. Or you can tuck the thumbs inside, which further intensifies the stretch in the wrist. So maybe you try that and see how that feels in your body. Go two in one direction, which for me, for whatever reason, is always more difficult than both going out or both going in. And then you might like to stretch the fingertips back, either with the opposite hand, or pressing the fingers together, or pulling the wrists towards the torso, or maybe if you have a lot of flexibility, you can turn the fingertips away from you and down as you pull the wrists up towards the chin. Whatever feels good. And then we'll let that go. And then we're going to do one more arm stretch today. And so there's a couple different ways to do this. We're going to do like the cow face pose arms. So if you're familiar with that pose, bring the right arm up overhead and bend the elbow down and give yourself a pat on the back. And this might be a lot. This might be enough. This might feel good. I can feel this stretch down the triceps down the back. You can use the opposite hand to help. Or if you have a lot of mobility in the shoulders, you can tuck the opposite hand behind you and reach for opposite fingertips. If you're not quite grabbing fingertips, that's okay. Just grab onto your shirt, or maybe you have a yoga strap or a tea towel or something to help with that. But this is a nice shoulder opener. And we'll do, there's a lion's breath we can do with this too. So it's a big inhale and exhale out the mouth with an open mouth and tongue sticking out. So it looks like this: an inhale in and an exhale with the tongue out. We'll do two more like that. Inhale in and one more. And then we can slowly untangle the arms, and maybe you shake them out, or maybe you stretch them across if that feels good, or doing some more shoulder rolls. Just ask your body what would be the counter stretch that your body would like to do before we go into the other side. And so we'll do the exact same thing on the left. So starting with reaching the left arm up towards the ceiling, and then bending the elbow, giving yourself a pat on the back. And this might be enough, which is great. You can use the opposite hand, feeling stretched down your triceps. Or if you want to try for the bind, you can tuck the right hand behind and reach for opposite fingertips. For me, this side is less open. My fingertips don't touch on this side, but I can grab onto my t-shirt and use that, or I could use a strap or a tea towel if I had one close by. And we'll do the lion's breath on this side as well. So inhaling, open mouth, exhale. Inhale. And one more. And when you're ready, slowly unwinding the arms, doing whatever you need to do. Maybe you interlock the fingers behind the back and stretch open the chest if that feels good. Or you can grab for opposite elbows if that feels more doable. Give yourself a little back bend. Lovely. And then ask your body what else it needs. What movements would be nourishing for you? Is it that your legs want to move and you want to put some movement into your ankles, or you want to stretch out the thighs or the calves? Or maybe it's that your neck feels stiff today and you want to do some stretches left and right, or tipping the head. A lot of times it's easy to just want to do what the teacher's doing or just go along with it. But it's really good reflective practice to say, okay, body, I'm here. I'm showing up for you. What is it that you actually want? What would actually feel nice? What would feel good? We spend a lot of time forcing ourselves to do physical movement that we have to do to live our lives, rather than what feels organic or what feels good in the body. So maybe it's some twisting, or maybe it's some more of this, of what we've already done, some circles with the shoulders or the wrists or the hips. Or maybe your body is saying, you know what, I actually just want to be still, and that's fine too. And eventually we will arrive at a place where we can be still. So think about what would be supportive for you. Does that mean putting something behind your low back? Does that mean sitting in a certain way? Or does that mean lying down because you would prefer to be horizontal? That's fine too. It's totally up to you. We don't all have to be doing the same thing. And so I invite you to find that comfortable position and close your eyes if you like, or lower your gaze and find the breath wherever it is. There's no right or wrong. Just observe. Is it coming in through the mouth? Is it coming in through the nose? Can you feel it more in your sinuses? Can you feel it more in your chest? Can you invite the breath down into the belly? Can you feel the belly rising a bit on the inhale and sinking a bit on the exhale? Can you invite the exhales to lengthen? So inhaling just as you would naturally, and spending an extra second or two on the exhale. If you have an intention you would like to set today, bring it to mind, something that you'd like to embody, a character trait or something you're trying to let go of, send it out into the universe. Let the universe make it so. And then I'm going to invite my intention, which is bringing all of you the energy of the sun and the moon and the earth and the infinite universal spirit for deep healing. And there's a mantra that goes with this. This is from the Kundalini yoga tradition. And the mantra is Ra Ma Da Sa Sa Se So Hung. So you can listen, you can join in, you can simply think about the sun, the moon, the earth, whatever feels right for you, and you can go back and forth. You might start with some of the mantra and then go into a contemplation on the cosmos, or you might start by just listening and then decide that you want to join in either verbally or just repeating the words in your head. So we'll try it out. And as always, if something doesn't resonate with you, just come back to the breath. Watch the belly rise and fall, and you're going to be doing it absolutely right no matter what you choose. So here we go. Rama Da Sa Sa Se So Hung. 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 And carry on in whatever way feels right for you. This mantra guides us through a process of inner healing. This mantra encourages us to release our past hurts. It invites us to embrace the present moment with an open heart. This heals us with the vitality of the sun. So maybe bring into your visualization the power of the sun, the strength of the sun, the vibrancy of the sun, the warmth of the sun, and any other positive attributes you associate with a sunny day. So many of us feel brighter, our mood is elevated on days when the sun is shining. Rama da sa sa se so hung. This mantra also invites us to embrace the calmness of the moon. So maybe you bring into your visualization a big full moon in a beautiful dark sky full of stars. The moon reflects the sun's energy, but it has a softer glow, a more yin energy, a more calming presence, a more soothing presence. Rama sa se so hung. This meditation invites you to bring into your heart the strength of the universe. The universe is infinite. We can't even really imagine or understand how big it is because we are so very small. And the universe is ever in flux. It is always moving. It is always rotating. New stars are being born. Old stars are dying. It is a constant churn through our galaxy and many galaxies into the great abyss, on and on and on and on. Rama da sa se so hung. If you like, in this moment, let go of something that you've been clinging on to, some past hurt, something that you've been agitated about or feeling some kind of way about, and see if there's any level of that, even 1% of whatever you've been holding on to that you can let go of. And come back into the present moment with an open heart. Because when we hold really tightly to the past, especially past wrongdoings, it's really difficult to stay in the here and now and be open to the possibilities and the beauty around us and the changing of the seasons, the sun and the moon, the rhythms of the earth and of nature. Rama da sa se so hung. This is another little tool that you can put in your pocket and take with you and take out at any point. Mantra is really powerful. It forces us to stay in the present moment because you cannot be repeating a mantra while you are also thinking angry thoughts about something that happened to you, or while you're worrying about the things that might happen in the future. It keeps us right here, right now. Rama da sa se so hung. Bring that intention back into your mind if you said it. Think about the tiniest action you could take today to bring that intention into reality. And we'll very slowly bring some movement back into our body, just starting with the hands, with the fingertips, touching the thumbs, maybe rubbing each of the fingertip pads or opening and closing the hands, just very gently, slowly, make it easy. Maybe you roll the wrists a little bit. Maybe you turn the neck really slowly from one side to the other side, nice and gently. Or tip the head so one ear comes towards one shoulder and then the other ear comes towards the other shoulder. Bringing some movement into those shoulders, into the toes, wiggling the toes, moving the feet. Putting some movement into the ankles, maybe opening and closing the knees, or walking the hips left and right and left and right, and then coming into however big of a stretch feels good in your body, from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. And if your eyes are still closed, maybe you rub your palms together to generate a bit of heat and cover up the eyes so you can blink them open gently, coming back into the space. Give yourself a little massage. And come back slowly, take your time, do whatever you need to do. Thanks for practicing with me today.